dangerous, the most dangerous man here. This is the one that you see the shadow in the back of the road. He is the one that we're afraid of. He's the one directing traffic. He's pulling the shots. He is the most dangerous. Because he doesn't have to get his hands dirty. He has others to do his business.
Nigga, I'ma cook your, I swear to God, I'll cook your ass every day, nigga. Straight up, nigga. And on my mom, if I ever see that, I'll beat the dog shit out your ass, nigga. Straight up, nigga. And no, you ain't gotta worry about no lawyers talk about threats. If I ever see you, I'll beat the dog shit. And if you ever was in my city, something happened to you, nigga. Straight up, nigga.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like
hard.
us.
Kevin Martinez. You trying to be funny? Why don't you go tell that nigga who made that fake paperwork about that? Oh, we waiting on another video. You see what I'm saying? You trying to be funny, bitch.
We gotta pull that shit out for folks now.
Officer Ricky.
Whooping, bro.
AK. Come out and play.
The fuck? Like the way, sir.
You know I made a response, right?
It hit different. Do your homework.
Yeah, he sound mad. Tell me, you guys. Tell me you don't sound big mad. So this is a few months back, maybe like a year ago, when I dropped that paperwork, right? This is what he did. He went in my inbox and did this right here.
And on my mom, if I ever see that,
Now, I've been on some other shit, you know, I've been on some chill shit. And recently, there's been bloggers reacting to my paperwork, you know, reacting to the video that I dropped a year ago. So now you got AK back in his feelings, and, you know, I've been on some chill shit. I've been, you know, doing my thing, staying out the way type shit. So he decided to run his mouth and say he's back on my ass, and that he's on my ass because I'm the one who originally dropped the paperwork. So guess what? You're not going to run your mouth and think that, you know, not going to respond back and that you the big bad bully in the block. Yeah, you're not going to invite me to a good time and think that motherfuckers is not going to respond back. So guess what, Mr. Rick Ross, Officer Francois. This is what we're going to do, right? We're going to warm up. We're going to take a page out of Byron Blake's book, right? And we're going to do a episode series on exposing Mr. Rick Ross, Officer Francois, whatever you want to call it, series on your, since you love to, you know, call people snitches and without the paperwork, and what you say goes, and it's all fun and games until the rabbit is the one with the gun, right? So the same way you like to do this in exposed people, and you did it with Dirk and it was okay, and it's what you say goes, and you can do it to OTF, and you threaten Duty Low, and you know, you have the whole industry calling Dirk a snitch, and you can just make it happen, right? It's all fun and games. So just know that it's all fun and games. We're having a good time with this, and I don't want to see you crying a little bit. Talk about, you know, lawyers and talking about, you know, strikes and all this other shit. Because yeah, that's what you do when it's your turn to get served, right? So make sure you get your popcorn ready. We're gonna warm up with just, you know, breaking down how we went from, you know, going back and forth, right, to squashing it and actually being cool, to me getting some information on you when I never mentioned your name. I was just saying there's a blogger out here who I'm getting information on that might be suspect, right? But you took it up on yourself to reply and jump the gun and you know, and really made a fool out yourself, because the first time I ever spoke about anything, I never mentioned the name. All I said was a blogger. Now you got dumbass Whoopi Goldberg over here. What's his name? Jap City, Big Lip, right? He the one that ran his mouth and put your name in. then you come back and reply to both of us and pull my shit, right? But it's cool, it's whatever. Let's have fun with this. Let's go.
So we can start warming up with how we started beefing, right? We can start with that, you know. He lied about the whole billionaire black, saying Doug used to go to his house to skip school, and then he was trying to put that together with a story about Duck being a grown up and going to his house after he done did a shootout and shit, making up lies. So I called him out on it and describe how the story he was using from Billionaire Black's interview was a lie, because Billionaire Black was describing them in high school while AK was describing an adult Duck going out, sliding and running back to Billionaire Black's house for cover, right? So when I call him out on that, he goes and fucking strikes my channel and shit like a hoe. That's how we started off, and we started going back and forth. And then, you know, eventually we got cool and made up and talked about it, right? Boom, that was that. But he always made me feel like he was hiding something, like he was always scary about shit. You know what I mean? The reason why he's scary about shit is because he doesn't want to get exposed or have to be put in a position where his will get, you know, his cover will get blown from his past. Because from what I'm hearing, you know, he's not on those duties anymore. He used to be, but he got caught drinking on the job and shit. So that I can definitely say that I heard that, and I can also, this is for a later time, but I can also break down the whole story of how this whole shit came about. But out of you know, protecting the source, I was limited to how much I can say, right? And I gave my word, so that I gotta be careful how I speak or what I say. But a lot of these YouTubers too, a lot of these niggas is hoes, because they quick to jump on shit, right? Or they quick to want you to share their shit when they got a story going or whatever and support them. But they be dick riding when it comes to other shit. Because if this would have been anybody else, they would have been hopped on it and been shared it. But because it's AK, they be scared to, you know, share the shit or even talk about it. Like some hoes. You know, the only one that and that's why AK don't fuck with him no more is 1090 Jake, is because he was actually trying to find AK's name to try to figure things out. So that's why AK stopped fucking with him. But he's the only one that kind of was like looking into it, but never followed through to finish up the investigation or even doing a video on it. But regardless, nevertheless, like, what I'm saying is that AK didn't only just do all this stuff. At the beginning, he never spoke on having a brother, ever, right? Never brought that up. Always kept that a secret. Mind you, when Death of the Cloud Chaser first started saying, "You told on your brother," his response was, "Man, what the fuck this nigga talking about? I told my brother." What brother? I don't even got no brother, right? He lied, I'm having a brother or whatnot. Then eventually he had no choice but to admit that he had a brother that told, right? So this is AK for you, right? What is it that he's hiding that he's so scared of, that he, you know, is always making sure he doesn't go nowhere for no interviews, right? Never is he willing to go anywhere for no interviews, no jumpers, no nothing, because, you know, he doesn't want to stick himself out there or put himself in a position where, you know, he gets in trouble, he gets arrested, something happens, and then his cover gets blown. Because you gotta think about it, if he was to get arrested, something happens, or he gets in trouble, he gets into a fight, something happens, then he has to go to court, then paperwork gets pulled, and then you can probably end up figuring out what's going on with him or who he is, right? That's why he was so mad at SETI when he found out that his name was being brought up in the Old Rock trial. He fears having to go through any court or anything where his paperwork gonna get pulled and his cover might get blown about what his past is. That's why he acts the way he acts. And again, I've been watching and I've been dealing with AK since he first got on YouTube. He must have had like 76 subscribers when I started knowing who AK was and what the fuck was going on, right? So I'm very familiar with what the fuck's going on. And for a living, I work with people, right? So I know how to read body language and people and stuff like that, regardless, right? So that's one. He lied about, you know, even having a brother. Two, Byron Blake one time dropped a video saying that AK sent off his little brother, and that his little brother, you know, was on a recording on a 911 call snitching, and that you could hear AK in the background, you know, made a whole video, and then he ended up deleting it, right? The thing is that when he went live talking about AK one time, you know, breaking down the video, AK was all in his life, and he was literally, you know, denying that he even knew those little niggas, as he referred to, right? No, them is my brother's little niggas or whatever. I don't hang with them. I don't know them. Who's that? Denying to knowing Isaiah, who is the one that died during the robbery where his little brother was a part of and got arrested and snitched, right? He denied knowing Isaiah. But as we was doing a little bit of digging, guess who AK got arrested with? Yep, Isaiah. The same person he says he didn't know and kept denying knowing. Yeah, that's who he got arrested with before for trespassing, right? And he lied about his name during that arrest. And this is where his grandmother had to, you know, help him out, get him, you know, bond money. Then he does his grandmother dirty, because after she bonds him out, he stops doing the community service that he was sentenced for, and then he gets a warrant put off for his arrest. So that's some other snake shit. But it just, you know, it just shows you the true colors and why he's always been in the shit he's always been in, because he's always moved like grimy snake shit. Some snakes are either worse than others, right? Yeah, that's what I got today for the first episode. I don't know if you want to call it the first episode, since this is what we're doing now, because we got like 6 more videos that we have video footage and everything else that we cover when this first dropped a year ago. But since he wants to start talking shit and, you know, say that he's on my ass because I'm the one who dropped the video, even though other people is reacting to it, guess what? You got me fucked up if you think you on niggas' ass and niggas is gonna, mind you, you got the bigger platform, you got everybody riding your dick, because that's what all these YouTube niggas do. It's like, if you got the bigger platform, they fuck with you whether you right or wrong, right? Everybody's scared of all these YouTubers is scared to talk about it because they don't want AK to talk about them, because again they're afraid that they're gonna end up, you know, not being able to have no attraction coming their way or anything like that as far as, you know, subscribers go. Again, dick riding. And this is exactly what happens in the streets too, right? If you're popular or you're a shooter and you got a bag, niggas pick and choose on who and what to make videos on or talk about when it comes to having some fucked up shit on their name. That's just how it goes, right? But I knew there was something up. Even though I was cool with him at the time, I still knew there was something that wasn't clicking, something wasn't adding up. So when I got the paperwork, I looked into it. I did other FOIA requests, and I thought I had something good enough to put it out, right? At least I had paperwork and something good and a story that really made sense, right? And I haven't even told that story yet on why I put the paperwork out, right? Put the story out. Unlike AK, since he wants to be mad about me supposed to be his friend and putting out the paperwork or putting out a video on him, unlike him, he put out shit on Little Dirt with no paperwork. Called him a snitch for months at a time, for years at a time, with no paperwork, right? So I don't want to hear that shit. And if I'm wrong for being his friend and dropping a video on him, right, when I already had kind of doubts, mind you, I met this nigga on social media anyways, but if I'm wrong for that, how wrong is he to cut his brother off because, or not to talk to his brother? Well, he fake cut his brother off because while his brother was locked up, he was sending him money and shit like that too. I got evidence of that. So he can't say that he stopped fucking with his brother because his brother told. And I don't expect him to. I don't expect someone to cut their close family member like a brother or something like that just because they're told, right? Because your brother is your brother no matter what. But he fake acts like he cut him off, right? Same thing with Seti. He calls Seti his brother, but yet he will fuck and talk and have dudes on his platform that don't fuck with Seti. Yet Seti was losing industry relationships over AK. But then AK didn't return the same favor back when it came down to cutting people off, when it came down to SETI. But everyone else, there were other YouTubers that AK was cool with, even though that they were dropping videos or talking about SETI, right? So how can you be mad at SETI when you did that to SETI first? You opened that door in that friendship. You opened that door to be able to say, well, you talk to niggas I don't fuck with, so I could talk to niggas.
Omegadrip exclusives.